Hey guys, this is Leetcode 169 majority element. And the question says, given an array of size n, find the majority element. The majority element is the element that appears more than n over 2 times. You may assume that the array is non-empty and the majority element always exists in any input. So in the case of 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, the majority element here would be 1, because 1 here exists four times, and 4 is more than n over 2, which is 6 over 2 here. So 4 is greater than 3. So 1 is our majority element here. If we had 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, and 5, then there would be no majority element, because no number exists more than n over 2 times. Okay, so the way that we would approach this is to use an algorithm called the Boyer-Moore algorithm, which says that we keep a count of current potential majority elements. So what this algorithm ensures is that we have a potential majority element, and if the array doesn't have a majority element, like in the last case that I just showed, then we have no majority element and we don't need to return everything, because it states here that every array would have a majority element. So it keeps account of the current potential majority element, and we manually compute its multiplicity relative to other elements before it. So a quick narration of this would be, in the case of 1, 2, 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 1, 2. Here our majority element would be 1, because it exists more than 9 over 2 times, which in C++ rounds this down to 4, and 1 exists 5 times. So in this set of numbers, we could approach this by keeping account, which would initially keep an account and a number, so the current number and the count of the number. So at first the number would be 1, the count would be 1. When we see a 2 while going through our list, we set the number to 2, but we reduce count, because now 1 doesn't exist as our majority element, and we increase count back to 1 because we now have a new one. So we do the same thing for 1 again. It becomes 0, then 1 back. The same thing for 4, 0, then 1. Same thing for 5, which becomes 0, then 1. Then for this one here, it becomes 1, 0, then 1 again. So count after our computation is a minimum of 1. And we see another one, we keep this one and increase count. We see 1 again, we keep the 1 and increase counts. We see 2, we reduce counts by 1, which will be equal to 2, but we keep the number here because counts is not equal to 0. So the only time that we change what our current majority element is if we find a new element that doesn't match our current number and we reduce 1 from its count, and count is greater and count is equal to 0, then we change the value of number. So in this case, count is not equal to 0, so we keep the value of number. So to code this up, let's call this int, call the function int majority elements vector int and norms. So we could name our count to be count. So int count is equal to 1. We could go int answer is equal to norms 0. So the first element in our vector using 0 in indexing. And we could use a for loop that goes for int I is equal to 1, since we start at 1, since we already have stored the initial element. And we go I is less than norms the size I plus plus, and we check if norms at I is equal to our answer. Then we increase count, else we reduce counts. So after either increasing or reducing counts, we have a quick check, and this is like the main part of the algorithm. So if count is equal to 0, then we make answer equal to norms I. And we increase count, because count is always at least 1. And we return answer. So there could be a few cases where there is no majority element, but answer would be the only potential option. But since this question ensures that there's always at least there's always a majority element, we are sure that the returning answer would suffice. So yeah, this is majority element Leetcode 169. Thank you.